I'm here with the third of my Hall of Fame interviews, Mr. Kishon Thompson, star of the Montreal's Finest and certain other teams. Kishon, all these interviews I've always led off with the same question. How did you get your start in this league? I know you've been here since pretty much day one. How did you get your start in this league? How did you hear about the league, and what were your thoughts on that first season?
Well, basically, I heard about it through Mo. Mo was playing on a team, I'm not sure, a team, and 2004, I think?
Five was
the first year?
Yeah.
And he invited me and Kareem out, and me and Kareem came to see him play, and we wanted to be on his team, and he didn't let us, so we said, okay, next year we're going to start our own team, and yeah, so Mo jumped on the bandwagon.
All right.
So we're like, all right, you're a good friend to us. So
it's big of you to let him on that team after he said no. So talk to us about that first year. Actually, Montreal's Finest is the first night of me ever scorekeeping in FlagPlus Football. The last game I had was Montreal's Finest. So that's when I jumped on the bandwagon early, and you guys haven't let me down yet. So talk to me a bit about that first season, the transition joining this league.
Well, when we came into the league, we thought we were going to blow everybody out the water. We thought we were fast, young.
We're athletes, we play the game.
Athletes, we trash talk, we're going to get in your face. That's our attitude. That's basically how we came into the league.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it ended with a first-round playoff loss to CLR Forces, either first or second round, the team that made it to the finals before losing to the Young Guns.
Right.
What did you learn from that first year that allowed you guys to continue evolving and improving over the years?
Well, we don't take any games for granted. We know, especially in Division I, anybody could win. If you're not on your A game, somebody else is going to be on their A game, and you're out of the playoffs. We suffered that 2 years now, so I think this year we're going to get it together and get it done.
All right. Now, had you ever played flag football before joining this league?
Never.
Touch? A little bit?
Yeah, I did touch.
Touch, okay, and obviously tackle.
Yeah.
Talk to me a bit about the transition it takes when you come into this league. Obviously, we see a lot of players who struggle, not so much from touch to flag, but specifically from tackle to flag. It's a completely different game, and a lot of times we see people trying to light people up also defensively. Talk to me about the transition. Did you find it hard at the beginning?
Very hard at the beginning. First thing is to pull the flag out without hurting your thumb or your fingers or whatever.
Yeah.
Once you could get that down pat, then you could start to get into your schemes defensively. Offensively, quarterbacks, there's no three-drop step in this league because you're going to get the ball picked off. So one step, then the ball has to be out. The windows are very, very small, not like in tackle.
Yeah.
And everything's a lot quicker. Quicker than touch, quicker than tackle.
So it's the speed that's a little bit different.
It's a lot quicker.
Okay. Now, obviously, you're known for playing on Montreal's Finest. That's the team you're known for. We often call you the heart and soul of that team.
Right.
But you have played with, for example, the High Rollers. I know you played a season with Notre Dame as well. Talk to me about the experiences playing in those other teams in the lower divisions, and how did it change or improve your game in D1? Is there anything you learned from that, or anything that changed in you as a player?
Well, I had a lot of fun playing with the High Rollers and Notre Dame. Shockers as well.
Yeah, Shockers. Yeah.
First thing with High Rollers is the first time I played with Kevin Wyatt, and that's how I got him to bump up to D1 on our team. So I got a lot out of.
He got a lot out of that one. Yeah, understandable. That was a big enough addition there. Just before we get to Kevin, obviously, who is the current quarterback for Montreal's Finest and another Hall of Fame inductee. You guys started off with Zan Simmons as quarterback, and then Chenard did a year as quarterback. Patrick Chenard. Talk to me about the core guys. In the end, have never changed with Montreal's Finest. I think of guys like Zan, Mokan, yourself, Kareem, Aked. Talk to me about that core and how you guys have made improvements along the way. What is there an overall strategy for you guys year after year? Is there some kind of force you want Montreal's Finest to project?
Yeah, we want to cover everything. We want no weaknesses. We want somebody who can do a bit of everything. And after every season, we know we don't have a problem getting guys on the team because there's a lot of people that want to play. for the finest. So we just try to plug him in. Last year we had Andre Knights, and I think we got an identical player this year with Champ, who makes a lot of plays for us.
Really, two of the best two-way players this league has ever seen.
Exactly. So that's how we plug them in.
So it's just finding guys who fit. Obviously, there was one year where the additions of Frank Bruno and Hamid Mahmoudi didn't work out that well.
Right.
Did you guys learn anything from that experience?
Well, yeah, we learned about our team and what type of players would fit on the team. We know on our offense, we know who our guys are. We know who our go-to guys are. We know how they want to run routes. We use Mike as a snapper, which is more beneficial to us, we think, to put a kid out on the block and have Champ on the block. So we have a speed and a big guy. So we know how our team is built. We know what Kevin likes too. That's another thing. It's what Kevin prefers. And yeah, pretty much.
All right. Now, it's hard for any player to be critical about themselves, but you guys have made it to this point as Hall of Famers. So I'd like to ask what you think your biggest asset is as a player. What is it that has brought you this much success? And then after, I'll ask you what your biggest fault is or something you feel like you need to improve. So we'll start off with your asset. What do you think is your biggest asset?
I think I could lead guys. Everybody who plays with me ends up playing the same exact style that I play. And that's get up in your face, get up on you, no back down, don't back up. I think I could get the guys around me to play top football.
Okay.
That's what we do.
So, and then how about your biggest fault? Something that, you know, even though it's been many years you've been playing, something that you wish you could control a little bit better or you could improve at, and just up to this year, something that you think?
A lot of people would think that I'm over-aggressive. I don't think so. This is why I have everybody on my team, is because I know I'm going to be over-aggressive. That's why I put Nathan back there, who's going to cover half of the football field, so I can jump a hook route or jump an out route and pick it for 6. If I get beat, Nathan's going to come back on top and make the play. So what I would say is sometimes I miss tackles. And that's the only thing that I see that I would change. Okay, is the tackling. In the end, for the reading the play and everything, you feel good. And like you said, taking risks, if you've got somebody backing you up like that, then exactly, it's not really a risk, right? Yeah. All right, let's get to what was the best. You've played on a lot of excellent teams. All your teams have had success to a certain degree. Obviously, you had the one championship season with Montreal's finest. What do you think was the best team you've ever played on in terms of talent? And it doesn't have to be the team that won the championship. What do you think was the best one? The best team that I ever played on was the team that won the championship. Okay. We were hot at the right time, and we couldn't be beat. We couldn't be beat. I think if we played 10 more games, we wouldn't be beat. That's the one that you qualified. That's the one. There is a second one. I also like the Shocker championship team. Okay. We had chemistry in that. It seemed to work well. There's two teams that fit together once you got to the finals. So those are the two teams I like. All right. Who's the best player you've ever played with in FlagPlus Football that you've ever had on your team? Best player I ever played with? Got a lot of I'm going to say I have a lot of options. Yeah. There's a lot of good guys, a lot of good quarterbacks. Yeah. But I'm going to go with this guy because he makes big plays repeatedly. Game-winning plays. I can count on him. When I'm tired, he makes a play, and my energy is right back to the roof. And that's a Ken Moore. All right. Well, it's a good choice. Like I said, you had a lot of good choices out there. And Ken Moore, I think once he gets enough seasons in, I think he's a lock for the Hall of Fame as well. Who's the hardest player you've ever had to play against? Who's a player that when you line up against him, you're like, damn, I don't want to see this guy? Whether it's because he just annoys you or because you find he's a difficult guy to stop. Okay, I'm going to give a two-way answer here. That's fine. The hardest, I'm going to go with the hardest team. Yeah. The hardest team I ever played against was the Hurricanes when they just blew us out. In the second finals. Yeah. There was nothing that I can do or my teammates could do right that day. They had us in their back pocket. They did whatever they want with the defense, and I never felt like that. And it's never going to happen again. And that is the best team. Rick was unbelievable. I miss them in the league.
Yeah.
So that is the best team that I ever played against. The best guy or the hardest guy to play against, or the guy that I don't like to play against, I love playing against Carmen. I'm going to say Carmen, but I love playing against him. Just because of what he's done. I think he's touchable, but he's done. I have too much respect for him because of what he's done. I don't like you that much, but I have too much respect for you.
It's funny because when I asked him that question, his answer was Kishon Thompson. So you can see that there's a little bit of gamesmanship going on there. All right. So now let's talk about what do you think is the biggest win you've ever had as a player in this league, the one that is the most satisfying. The championship comes easily to mind, but was there any others that you just really wanted to win that game bad and you felt so satisfied after it?
A game that I really wanted to win bad was I'm gonna have to say the championship game.
Yeah, it's normal.
Have to say that game.
It was a hell of a game
because I was overwhelmed after the game.
Yeah.
My intensity was never that high in FlagPlus football ever. I mean, before that, I didn't even know if everybody knew that we were going to lose that day.
Yeah.
No matter how Hurricanes, they always find a way to win. I didn't know how we were going to do it, but I told them guys we're going to do it. It was tough. When it happened, I just couldn't believe that we beat them. So to me, that's
the biggest one. What's the toughest loss you've had? Would it be that second game against the Hurricanes, the second championship loss?
No.
Okay, what's the toughest one?
Toughest loss was last year's quarterfinals to the Express. Why? Because I watched the game from the sidelines because of my surgery. I had finger surgery. So to me, to watch that happen was pretty tough.
Montreal's Finest were by far the favorites to win the championship, to not even make it to the finals.
Right.
I can understand your answer on that one. Excuse me. Now, moving on to, obviously, every player is going to have influences coming into this league. You can have influences outside the field, but influences on the field as well. Who's a player that's influenced you and changed your game or improved your game, or somebody that you learned a lot from?
Okay. It's not the person that I've learned the most from is not when I just came into the league. I've been in the league a few years, and then I started playing with Wyeth. And Wyatt showed me things on the offensive side of the ball that things could be really easy, not too much crazy routes and stuff. We run, sometimes in a game, we run 3-4 plays, the same plays the whole game, and we make it work, which also helps me when I at times play quarterback. I run the same plays, and then I got a little bit of legs. So
it opens up the playbook a little bit more.
Up the playbook.
All right. Now, I want to take you back to, obviously, we had the trilogy of games against the Hurricanes. This is, we started off, I think the league always had a story in the first few years. So we had the Young Guns dominance in those first 3 seasons. Then we moved on to the rise of the Hurricanes, and then it was always Hurricanes, Montreal's finest. First game was lost at the very end. Bitter pill to swallow. Second game, as you said, was not even really close. And the third game was the most thrilling game in FlagPlus history. Nothing will touch it, I think, when it went to overtime. And obviously, Kevin Challenger caught that touchdown falling out of bounds. Talk to me a bit about the Hurricanes. Obviously, they're not in the league anymore. How you feel vis-a-vis that trilogy of games, and just how it's changed you as a player, or how it was for you, for the Montreal's finest, to play those games.
Well, first of all, I'm really happy that we beat them before they exit the league.
In a way, you guys broke them.
We did that too.
The league did not. They were gone from the league after the last year.
We beat the Young Guns too, and they weren't in the league after that. But Hurricanes, the league is going to miss the Hurricanes. A lot of there was nobody like them. They were big, they were physical, just like the finest, and they were really cool guys, really nice guys. Rick is one of the top quarterbacks I just wish they could have been in the league a little bit more to make D1 more competitive, because right now it's going to be Demon's finest. Yeah, I hope they can get it together and come back in the league.
All right. My next question is about, I'm going to ask you about the individual Hall of Fame inductees. Just give a couple of words. It doesn't have to be super in-depth, but just a couple of thoughts about some of the guys. Obviously, we've spoken quite a bit about some of them so far. We'll start off with Carmen Police.
All right, Carmen, to me, and I always said it like this, Carmen is the guy that I respect the most in the league. Why? Because he reminds me of somebody who goes to a park, he takes any 5 guys, and he beats you. Any 5 guys. So I'm not bringing down Paul up here, who I think is good, Benny or anybody like that, but he could take any 5 guys and win games. So that's what I think about Carmen.
All right, Kevin Wyeth.
Kevin Wyeth is the best offensive weapon in FlagPlus history.
All right. Easily said. That's a good statement. I don't think you'll have to back down from that at any point soon. That's definitely a good point. Rashdi Ben Abdelkader.
See, I'm glad that Rashdi and Carmen don't play together anymore, because it was impossible to cover Rashdi for some reason. He was impossible. They had some kind of chemistry going on. I don't know. It was ridiculous. They were in the zone 24/7. So that's what I remember about Rashdi. I'm not sure about the other divisions, but when he played against me, we couldn't cover.
And finally, Patrick Chenard, former teammate of yours for one season, played quarterback for Montreal's finest. Talk to me about Patrick Chenard.
Really and truly, well, Montreal finest, during the season, we don't like to say this, but I'm going to say it, we love this guy. We played together. I like his heart, his desire. It's on finest style. He's like our baby, he's like our little brother. So I'm proud of him, and he is for real. He's what he is defensively. It's throwing his way is you're risking points, and that's only Dion they say that about. So
that's high praise. High praise. All right, now we'll get to some more individual questions just about you. The first question I have is, when you played tackle, you played wide receiver?
I played a bit of both.
A bit of both?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm judging from what I remember. You would sign off on the Facebook wall way back when, best wide receiver alive.
Oh yeah.
So we're taking you back to the good old days when you were blasting right hand and all these things. The Wild West days of FlagPlus Football.
Oh man, I did that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You did that, and I remember one time you got really angry that somebody stole your sign of grabbing your nuts. So if I can be so blunt.
Yeah.
But in those days, now, what position do you prefer? Playing wide receiver, DB? I know you played a little bit of quarterback as well, but that's not enough to make an impact. But you're known as a great middle linebacker and as a great wide receiver. Which one do you enjoy more?
I love this game. I like playing all the positions, but nothing is like playing on defense. Why? Because I control it, and when I love to see guys make plays. I love to bounce back. I just like rallying with the guys on defense. But any other position is good with me too.
All right, and you're known as one of the most intense players, if not the most intense player in FlagPlus Football. You always know when Kishon Thompson is playing on a FlagPlus Football field. How do you feel about it? Do you feel that sometimes it hurts you, or is it always an advantage to you? Do you feel as that's a big part of your success as well?
Well, I'll tell you right now, anybody who's played against me and I'm quiet, you're not getting the best of me. So if I'm not in the game, I'm somewhere else. Yeah. So if I'm talking, you're getting the best of me, and that's the challenge that I'm putting out there. So,
do you feel like, is it something that you did consciously, like as a player, that you said, this is how I want to be, this is the kind of player I want to be, or does it just come naturally to you?
Since I was 8 years old, I was talking trash to my brothers. I was the youngest brother, so Cream would tell you, man, Cream was in a little higher grade than me, and he wanted to kick my ass. He's like, who's this little kid coming into school talking like that? And I used to talk on the football field, and at games, referees used to tell me, little young man. And now it's just I want guys in the right position. We don't got a lot of time. It's quick. Yeah. So if we're not in position right before the ball is snapped in D1, you lose. So I'm just trying to get everybody in line real quick, and then I let the quarterback know that we're ready to play.
All right, so it's more focusing on your own teammates than against the opponent.
Yeah.
With maybe the exception of Carmen every now and then.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, and the last question I have for you is, we talk a lot about Mo Khan as the captain and general manager of Montreal's finest. What I want to know is, who's really behind the success of Montreal's finest? Is it you? Is it Kareem? Is it Mo? Is it who? Who has allowed this team to be successful through so many years, through so many different quarterbacks, different team
I'm going to be
players?
really honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to be really honest today. Montreal Finest wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for Mo Khan.
All right.
Mo Khan is always on top of things. Always on top of things. If somebody's missing, if news is relayed back to us in a hurry so we can get guys filled in, or if we're looking at somebody in the next season, we're looking at him already. Mm-hmm. So by that time, Mo Khan has done buttered him up and for him to come on the team.
The recruiting.
Yeah, and a lot of things to do with our defense goes through Mo Khan as well. Because he's so tall, we get to, the way I do things, I hide defenders behind him to pop out, you know, and I don't want to give too much away. But Montreal Finest, I'll tell you something, after the first loss to CLR Force, we were hurt as a team, young and hurt, mad. We couldn't believe we lost. We went 9-1 that season, and the team almost broke up. And Mo Khan is the one who called everybody up to keep everybody together. And we were like, no. I was like, no, I'm not playing. I was too up there, you know. Yeah. And he's the one who made us humble. And he said we're gonna find the right pieces, and he stuck us together. And I don't regret it at all.
All right, well, that's it for my questions. I'm going to give you a little chance to either give us your thoughts on being nominated, to being inducted into the Hall of Fame. If you want to thank anybody or any thoughts, anything you've always wanted to say, this is your chance.
Yeah, I do want to thank, FlagPlus Football, because Hall of Fame to me is something that I never thought about it. I heard about it. I didn't know we were doing it this year. Then when I heard the guys that were going in, I was like, of course, that's Carmen, Patrick Chenard, and then I got a text message from Ronaldo, who was the first person to let me know, and I'm not gonna lie, I was overwhelmed. I really appreciated that. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody from the stats keepers to the referees. The referees, we get on them all the time, but they're great guys and they do a great job in a quick game. The web poll guys, everybody, the film guys, everybody. This is a fun league because of all the things, the website. It makes it fun for me. I love this league. I'll always be a promoter of this league. Rob, you did a great job. You created a monster. I love this league. And last but not least, I'm going to thank my teammates because they allow me to run wild on defense and they back up my mistakes. And here we are in the Hall of Fame. So I want to thank my teammates for that.
All right, well, definitely a well-deserved honor for Kishon Thompson. Like I said, one of the most likably energetic guys on the field. Like I said before, if we ever do mic up a player, Kishon's #1 on that list. We all know it. So thanks a lot, Kishon, for coming, and congratulations again for being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.